Some of you may imagine that you are very articulate with your words. You can come up with the words and you know the subject so well, nothing can go wrong. I'll just quote for you a recent example where Rajnikant's family, when his latest flick Linga was released, and the family, there is a tradition in Chennai where they go to one particular theatre and they would come out and give those comments about how fabulous the movie was or otherwise, and Dhanush, his son-in-law, came out and wanted to say how great his father-in-law was, and he went on to say he's absolutely worthless. He meant to say he's absolutely priceless. His acting is priceless, but he went on camera on multiple channels to say he's absolutely worthless. And that one word, while it sounds funny to us, can be disastrous, and it does happen in situations where you're faced with so many cameras. We intend to say something and we end up communicating absolutely something else. Even as journalists, I know people on the panel will agree with me, if they are being interviewed by journalists, they are very wary, because what you are trying to communicate and what the other person perceives as what you are trying to communicate and what he would like to take the message from it, very different things. From Mr. Bhargava's address, from whatever I heard of it, the things that I would pick up is, oh my God, he made a sexist remark on Air India hostesses and what kind of a role they should have and what that is a message I may take out, because that's the most sensational part of it, most interesting part of it. The other bit that I may take is about Infosys and comparing the two big leaders in that period. So a journalist is at freedom to pick out whatever he wants to take out from the huge amount of. You may have shared what very often the experience of many public relations managers is, we told them so many good things about our organization, and ultimately, oh my God, next day the news was completely something else. I mean, one slip of the word and one sentence here and there, and that's what they picked up and made it into a headline. We have done so many good things, they are not interested in it. The perception about journalists, to a large extent perhaps true, that they are interested in sensational things, they are interested in interesting stuff, they don't have patience to listen to your long stories, they usually don't like your very boring details about what you did well and how do you manage to do it so well, and that they don't have the patience to even understand what the story is. While that is true, you must understand that journalists work under severe deadline pressures, severe resource crunch, and they are handling very often multiple beats at the same time, and therefore your communication to them has to be very simple, straight. Identify the people who you want to communicate with in a peacetime, make those relationships at that time, and then give them that understanding, give them those positive stories at that time in an interesting, engaging manner. Need to come out of that thing where we are only doing press releases and sending out a photograph saying that this person has taken over as this particular division, whatever, in charge, and so on and so forth. Discover the stories, rediscover. When you start talking to people, you realize, oh my God, something has happened here which is so great. I mean, NTPC had these kind of stories to tell, and they never told us these stories, which were whether in terms of technology, whether they cut costs to a large extent, whether they did the pollution control. Everyone knows we need power, but when you're damned when you're putting up this plant and you're told about how it's causing so much of pollution, as though they are doing it for their only to fill their coffers. It's a national asset, and we need to recognize this at that, and that pride to build within the organization, that internal communication start. Too much of internal communication can be disastrous also. Too much of external communication also can be disastrous, but how much needs to be in a very measured tones, building that brand.